What's going on, guys? Hey, listen, today we've got a brand new fragrance. I think I might be one of the few people to have it early. So I wanted to go ahead and crank this out so that you guys are in the know of the latest and greatest when it comes to inspiration iterations. And this one is from the house of Arabiyat Prestige, which honestly is slowly becoming one of the best inspiration houses of 2025. And I'm sure they'll carry that title well into 2026. So strap up. Let's go for that ride.
Okay, for two. I wish I had moved side to side as I let the sin into the room. You were on top, let's connect minds. Trying to get into a mood. We gon' be fine. Close up the blinds, no rush. Finish the food.
All right, welcome to the scent bubble. I am your host for the late evening. So check this out. You guys know me. Normally, I never really do box presentation and openings, but we're going to kind of have to dip our feet in the water with this one because it's a brand new release and I have it early. So this is from the house of Arabiyat Prestige. And for those of you who don't know about this house has slowly been jumping on the radar with absolutely phenomenal releases. And as of the recording of this video, I have yet to find a bad Arabiyat Prestige. Now, obviously, I do some research and due diligence. I have a lot of people who sell Arabiyat Prestige as well as friends that work kind of very close to that umbrella. And so I've always been pointed in the right direction in terms of phenomenal releases. But with that being said, hopefully this one is no slouch. This is Aristo from Arabiyat Prestige, and it is an inspiration of Goldfield Banks, Australia's Indigenous Ginger. So I'm just going to show you the packaging and presentation on this because I can. However, we're not going to talk a lot about it. So really bulky presentation, great weight to it. Golden black finishes similar to like a Lamal Elixir style look. And then this bottle is kind of buried into this faux velvet encasing. So really nice, luxurious packaging here. I do have a camera LUT on, so it's kind of jazzing it up a little bit, but it does look pretty much close to that. And then obviously here's your bottle. Very Lamal Elixir-ish in the colors, but it's its own thing. It's kind of got like an Egyptian color aesthetic with kind of a microphone, old vintage microphone style look to it. Very nice, bulky, weighty. This is solid brick level weight to it. Doesn't feel cheap at all. And then for those of you who even care about packaging and whatnot, there it goes. I throw all my packaging away unless it's vintage or something that may be sold in the future. And even then, I only carry the box to ship it out in because it makes things easier. So with that being said, Indigenous Ginger, Goldfield Banks, known for a lot of, like, in my opinion, fancy, simple type of fragrance DNAs. I wish I had OG Indigenous Ginger here in the lab, but I don't. So I want to say this is not a video about accuracy. This is an early release video about whether or not you need to get your nose on it, because I'm going to let you know if it's good or not. The atomizer is phenomenal, so I'm not going to overspray. The sheen is sheening, but I will give a good 2 sprays to the test strip. Indigenous Ginger, let's see what it's supposed to be. Obviously, Indigenous Ginger from Goldfield Banks has a 4.35 rating out of about 3,000 votes. So it is one of the probably best sellers, at least one of the more mass appealing fragrances from the house of Goldfield Banks. And as you will see in a second, this fragrance is so new, Fragrantica doesn't even have a breakdown of it. So we're going to bounce between the description of Indigenous Ginger as well as a Facebook post about the arrival of this new fragrance. So I'll at least be able to tell you the notes. In the air, I get a very, not tropical, but a very citric, effervescent ginger. This is all about ginger. It's not like an organic photo real ginger. It's almost like a cartoon ginger. Not cartoon in the sense of it feeling fake or anything like that, but just a very animated and sweet ginger. But it captures that effervescence of what ginger is that immediately is recognizable, and it's pretty true to form. So just a very lively, animated, almost cartoonish kind of ginger, but it's very nice. It's fresh. It's really like a champagne fancy ginger. That's the best way to look at it. Slightly candied, slightly animated, very fresh. Not a lot of accented stuff other than what I feel might be like some sort of a citrus. Yeah, really good. It's not the most sillage-y, kind of murky type of sillage to it. It's very just a projective, like 2-3 feeder. On skin, it feels very ambery. So I would say, look at this like a champagne spritzed ginger with amber. That's essentially the entirety of this fragrance. Now, let's switch screens here. I want to show you guys what I'm looking at here. So here's just a random announcement I found of this fragrance. Says here 100 ml Aristo by Arabiyat Prestige, coming out soon, where refinement meets confidence. So Aristo is a fragrance created for those discerning taste, complex balance, and effortlessly elegant. From vibrant opening, I could agree with that due to the ginger, to effortlessly elegant, that fancy champagne feel to it. I agree with that as well. From its vibrant opening to its warm, lasting base, every layer is composed with blah, blah, blah. Okay, top notes: ginger, flower, lemon, and bergamot. I get a lemony experience, but it's certainly more about the ginger. The lemon is just creating like a candy touch to it. A fresh, invigorating opening that feels bright, aromatic, instantly uplifting. I do agree. Heart notes: mandarin orange, magnolia, jasmine, and rose. Truthfully, I get none of that other than maybe just the slight nuance of orange. And in the base, we have vanilla, amber, sandalwood, cashmere, musk, and patchouli. Really, to me, I get a tiny 20% vanilla tint on the ginger. Nothing super sweet or sugary about this. I get a lot of amber and musk. Sandalwood, cashmere, and patchouli, I really don't get at all in this composition. It says launching soon. So, okay, so this is a fragrance house that's launching this fragrance soon. When was this posted? December 18th. So this is a while ago. To my knowledge, this fragrance is coming out this week or even next week in terms of, you'll see it start to roll out soon. I got it early because I know a seller who kind of co-works under the Arabiyat Prestige umbrella, almost exclusively sells Arabiyat Prestige, and so he gave it to me early. Great fragrance, very mass appealy, not the most complex thing at all. It's almost instant crushy in terms of its mass appealness. It doesn't feel... it does feel somewhat juvenile, but I think it's just one of those scent profiles everyone enjoys. It's not really a scent profile you associate with age. It's more of a bright, effortless vibe that has some classy touches to it, but it's still quite youthful in nature. I will say this. Let me look here at Goldfield and Banks just to see. Okay, so it has a very similar composition. Almost identical here. I'm going to have to pick up this Goldfield and Banks Discovery set. I think it's time to go into Goldfield and Banks. I do have Pacific Rock Moss coming in. This is a great fragrance, guys. I do want to say before I forget that if you want to get your headspace around what this might smell like say you've never smelled indigenous ginger, this smells very close to like Imagination. Very close. I believe Imagination even has like a prominent ginger note in it. The Afternoon Swim or Pacific Chill, that style, but it's more imagination-y because it reminds me very much so of that just spritzy ginger opening. And even the alternatives that you might come across, the Aqua Dubai, what are those clones? It's been a while since I've been in clone world. Any of the Imagination clones that are really popular it smells like. And even Sahib Intense, which I've recommended to you guys many times for an imagination alternative, they all kind of have this spritzy ginger candied top. And that's this in a bottle with maybe just the tiniest boost of vanilla and amber, but the vanilla is not distinct. It's more of a support to the ginger feeling sweeter. But yeah, I did want to say, like, if you haven't had a scent profile in this arena, like you want to know, hey, scent bubble, what's it smell like? It smells very close to imagination. It's not as colorful in terms of like the citrus fruits, exotic, aquatic type of feel, but the ginger and the sweetness level and the weight of the fragrance is completely identical to me to like an imagination style. I'm very interested to see if the real indigenous ginger is as candied as this. Maybe I would prefer it to be a little bit more natural, but I can see how going a little more of a natural direction in the style of like a Ganymede or something would throw people off. It's kind of the same thing where like Paris Corners Amir Celestial made Ganymede more mass appealing because more of my friends like the clone as opposed to the OG. The OG feels too natural, too elemental. This has done the same. So we'll see what Goldfield and Banks is hitting for it within the next month, and I'll actually be able to follow up and say accuracy. But in terms of SB, should I buy this fragrance? I think this is dumb reach, everyday wear. Shines in spring and summer, obviously. I want to get that opening again. Shines in the spring and the summer. This is totally a casual fragrance. I don't even know if upscale casual is fitting. Even though I said it has like kind of a champagne finish, it dries down more juvenile and less effervescent. And for those of you who don't know effervescent, just like that spritzy kind of soda carbonation feel to the fragrance. It smells more natural on the test strip. When you put it on your skin, the amber just kind of caramelizes and sweetens it up and duffs off that spritz. But yeah, solid fragrance. I think this is super moderate in terms of performance. Like if you can get a solid 6 hours out of this, you'll be happy. But I would up spray on this totally. Any season, any reason, shines in spring, summer. The elements would kind of evaporate this, you know, the cold, the rain, the sun. But I think it'll hold up in heat quite well due to the amber and the vanilla. Occasions, casual, barely upscale casual, to be honest. Like it could be upscale casual, but don't overdress this because it'll feel more juvenile the more you contrast it with a more serious look. Occasions as well, like lunch date, brunch, on the water, on a boat, you know, outdoor party, having cocktails, going to school, out of the gym. I don't like gym fragrances, but if you freshen up and take a shower after you leave the gym, spritzing up with ginger is nice. Who doesn't like ginger, right? That's how I feel. So wherever you might want to smell like a spritzy, candied ginger, you put it there and it'll work for you. Yeah, very nice fragrance. I love the heft to the bottle. I mean, it's very heavy to hold. And I love the quality. The quality is there. It's not the most complex fragrance, but the OG isn't either. This is unisex to me. Let's see if, yeah, it is unisex. So I think it's perfectly unisex. It is not a scent that makes you think about gender at all. I wouldn't even say this is a fragrance where it'll do something on a woman and then on a man it'll do something different. I just think it's perfectly unisex. You will not think about gender when you smell this. You will just think, wow, fresh, good, easy on the nose, ginger, lemony, orangey. I like it. Alternatives. This is the alternative to Indigenous Ginger, I believe. Without even speaking on accuracy, I give this fragrance easy 8. Easy 8. Above average, buttloads of versatility. The quality is there. It doesn't feel cheap. The longevity and the fact that it's not the most beast mode projected fragrance in the world might be an issue to you. But so what? You know, layer up, overspray, and call it a day. The quality is there. You have 100 mil. The atomizer is great. You just load yourself up in an aura of this. It can layer well with just about anything. I mean, citruses, ambers, vanillas, fruits, melon, different spices, aromatics. So if you want to push it further, I know I would probably definitely do that with something like this. I'm looking at myself on screen, and this is such a buttered, chocolatey Egyptian look that I have to the aesthetic of this video. It's kind of dope. Very fitting. But yeah, this fragrance should be out. I saw this fragrance being listed for around the $60 price point. Would I pay $60 for this? Yeah. Not because of its uniqueness, but because of how versatile it is. You could just wear this on any occasion that's not serious, and it could be an easy daily driver for you guys. Like, so easy. This is on par with fragrances like the Wulong Chas, the La Cordays, any of the citruses, the LV line, any of the fruit splash type of stuff, anything citric, Lalique's, Linsumi Force, your Versace's, your Dylan Blues, all that stuff. This stands above most of it, or at least competes with your favorite selections from them. So I think there's just, due to the versatility and the quality and the universalness of ginger and candied vibes, I give it a strong 8. The only reason it doesn't creep into 9 is because there's not the most complexity and it's not the most unique scent. But I think compared to most of what you have, like a ginger forward scent, could be slightly unique. But just versatility, quality, and truly unisex. I think it's doesn't smell cheap. And man, this fragrance just shows me that clones are coming a long way in terms of the refinement of the juice. When I'm smelling a clone, dupe, or an inspiration, I'm looking for nuances in quality. Does anything stick out that's off-putting? Does it deliver the vibe of the product, or does the juice quality downplay the vibe that's going for? None of that is the case with this. You will love wearing this. You will love layering with this. It'll be when you're thinking too much and you look at your collection, you just want to grab something without thinking. This will be a great option for you. And yeah, I would pay the $60, but where I'm at in my journey, I think this fragrance will easily go down to the $30, $40 price point quite quickly, unless it gets, unless it's the next hype fragrance, then it'll probably sit closer to the 50 to 80 price point. But yeah, this was Arabiyat Prestige. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell. Talk to me. I do talk back. It's cool that we have a Goldfield Banks inspiration. That's quality. This is very nice. Again, this was Aristo from Arabiyat Prestige, and they are just cranking out hit after hit after hit. So for all you guys saying, SB, you left the clone game alone for a while, come back. You guys know I always got you. It's just there's a diverse world of perfumery that I explore. And so I've been collecting a lot of inspirations to drop on you guys. And since this is something that I got kind of exclusively, I wanted to drop this video as soon as possible before everybody starts glazing it. This is pretty solid. 8 out of 10 for me. And that's totally fine. I think you should definitely get your nose on it. It is blind buy worthy, to be honest, to me. If you're somebody who chases complexity and richness and depth and all that, then I don't think it's dumb reach. But if you just want a really good fragrance that you can wear all the time and not think too much, and is a little bit unique compared to the other daily driver offerings, this is dumb reach, and it is blind buy certified from SB. With that being said, love you guys. Talk to me. I do talk back. Have a blessed rest of your week, and take care.